What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Temokem. Very glad to have you guys here today, guys. So today we're going to be talking about something quite different from what we are used to talking about on the channel, because we're going to be talking about sports today. We're going to be talking about Manchester United, my team. As you can see right behind me, I got my my Manchester United t-shirt, and I mean, a lot is going on in Manchester United, so we're going to be talking about it with regards to the manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being sacked by the board. You can call it being released of his duties, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but the fact remains Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, after 3 years at the club, is no longer going to be the manager. So we're going to be looking at that, and also we're going to be making a very brief talk about the FECAFOOT situation. That's the Federation of Cameroon Football, which is going through right now. Candidates are submitting their applications to run for president of that association, with Samuel Eto'o being one of those who have officially handed in their candidacy or their applications to one of the candidates running for the election. We also have people like Temokem, who is the incumbent president. And so what is going on in FECAFOOT, we shall also be looking at that in today's video. Alright, guys, welcome back. So if you're a football lover, if you're a lover of sports, if you're a lover of the English Premier League, and even if you're a lover of Manchester United, then you should be able to understand that a lot has been going on, and unfortunately, for the negative reasons at Manchester United over recent times. I mean, we've gone from bad to worse with recent performances. It's been really a shambles of performance from Manchester United, given the fact that we have a whole lot of very talented world-class players. It's just been so disappointing, so disheartening. I mean, to look at the kind of performances that these guys have been putting on show. It's been a month of several months of pain for the fans, for the die-hard fans of Manchester United, who have had to live every day with what has now become kind of a routine of bad performances from the team. I mean, going back to the days, I think this all started I think, if I'm not mistaken, after the Aston Villa match, where we lost did we lost 1-0 at home? Yes, I think we lost 1-0 at home, then drew to Everton, then lost to Young Boys. Then I mean, terrible performances. We could only manage to beat Villarreal at home at the 90th minute, where Ronaldo, of course, came out with man of the match performance. I think it's been so bad. I even remember when we won to West Ham United. It was not a very convincing win. I mean, it was a victory that came after a lot of controversies. And so, just to say that the performances have been very, very poor. This is not a standard that was being set in by the Sir Alex Fergusons and all those legends we know of Manchester United. The standards have really dropped ever since the manager Sir Alex Ferguson left in 2013. But then it has never hit this low. I tell you what, Manchester United are almost becoming like some sort of a mockery, because I don't understand to what extent. I find it difficult to believe to what extent the club has been dragged into the mud with the performances. It's a whole, it's shambles. It's shambolic. I don't even know what adjective to use to describe the performances, the levels as the club has dropped to. But then what's making the headlines today is the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been sacked as Manchester United manager by the board. I mean, this is a decision that many of us know was inevitable, but for some reasons best known to the board, maybe because they found him like someone they could easily control, or whatever reasons, they took a very long time to have sacked the manager. And right now, as we are talking, Michael Carrick has been appointed as the caretaker manager, let us say so, while the board search for an interim manager that's going to take the club until the end of the season before they eventually get a new manager for the future. That's according to the board's official statement. And so what do I make of these decisions? I think that first of all, it's a reactive club. The club are not proactive, because if they were proactive, I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the handwriting was just on the wall. There were a lot of cracks already. He should have been gone. We accept Ole's status, and which is never going to be disputed as a legend of the club. I mean, from way back when I wasn't even an active follower of Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been a legend of the club. He has given his all for the club as a player, but as a manager, this marriage just hasn't worked. I can't remember when Ole came in, I think way back in 2018, when we just sacked Mourinho, which of course at the time was very poor after that defeat to Liverpool. Ole was appointed as the interim manager, and then we went on a very good run of games. We beat so many teams. I think beginning with Cardiff, if I can quite remember, it was a Premier League match. I think we won 4-1 or 4-2 with Ander Herrera scoring. I mean, it was all joy at the time. The excitement, the football was exciting. Everything was going on so well up to the point where Ole got a job on a permanent basis, which wasn't really the agreement, because he only came as an interim. But then because of the performances, I remember we beat PSG at PSG in the Champions League. It was so exciting, and the fans were carried away, just like the board. And we all saw how Ole got appointed, and ever since then, Ole has spent, I tell you what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, ever since his appointment, happens to be one of the managers that has spent the most in the Premier League, and if I'm not mistaken, in world football. After Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's appointment, Manchester United have spent more money than Manchester City. They have spent more money than Liverpool. They have spent more money than all the big spenders in the Premier League. But then the results have just not matched up with the amount of resources that have been put in to see that the club goes ahead. I mean, we've been able to acquire the services of some world beaters, some superstars. We have players like Paul Pogba, of course, who was I think already there before Solskjaer came in. But we managed to secure the services of people like Bruno Fernandes, recently Cristiano Ronaldo, Donny van de Beek, Harry Maguire, and you can name the rest, Jadon Sancho, which are very talented players, but it just hasn't worked out. And I think that it has gotten to the point where, the squad became very heavy for Solskjaer to carry. Now we have gotten to realize that football is a management business. If you don't manage proper management, then you're gonna be losing a lot, because I think maybe the club feel like maybe with the good players we have, we could work our way through, the season, maybe winning a Premier League along the line, or a Europa League or whatever. And that just goes to tell you to what extent the level had dropped. But then this just hasn't worked. And despite the fans' cries for a very, very long time, the media, so many persons calling on Solskjaer to be sacked, the board couldn't hear to it, but finally they got their fingers burnt. There's no way they could run away from this. There's no way they could have escaped from this, and so they just had to do away with Solskjaer. And so right now, let's talk about the future for Manchester United. What then is the future for this club? Well, I think personally, the board are not really showing that they are very serious board, because I think a very serious board acts very spontaneously. I mean, look at what has happened recently with Aston Villa, who got the manager sacked and quickly acquired the services of Steven Gerrard, who was the manager of Rangers. I mean, look at other Premier League clubs, Newcastle United, who have sacked their manager, even Tottenham, who sacked their manager and got the services of one of the only world-class managers who was vacant at the moment, that is Antonio Conte, who Manchester United, I think, deliberately refused to acquire, because maybe some persons, some ex-players, or some persons that have influence at the club, tagged his football to be boring, or tagged him to be the kind of person that is very authoritative, that want to ask too many questions on the Manchester United board, and so we let the manager go. And so right now, the future of Manchester United, well, I wouldn't say it's very dark. I wouldn't say it's very bright, because talking about Michael Carrick, I think it's one of the problems of Manchester United, really, because Michael Carrick, from his playing days, ever since he resigned as a footballer, we've been following him at Manchester United. We quite remember when Mourinho came in as manager. Mourinho was working with his assistant, and I think the year we got second position, Mourinho's assistant actually left. Then Carrick and McKenna were appointed to work as part of the coaching team with Jose Mourinho, and this just didn't go down well, because after a few months, Mourinho got sacked earlier that season, before Solskjaer got the appointment as an interim manager, and still maintained the coaching staff of Carrick, McKenna, and Mike Phelan. You understand? And then this still hasn't gone well, because Solskjaer has gotten the sack. I think the board have packed him under the bus, because Solskjaer right now, I think he's been betrayed by the board, to be precise, because to be honest with you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not managing Manchester United alone. if you follow his press conferences, if you follow his, some of the outings he made it clear that on several occasions that he didn't actually coach the team. They were a team of coaches, and so it is quite frustrating when, instead of the club to press a reset button, to get them all out of the club, if they should make that decision, they decided to, do away with Solskjaer, who was just a portion of the problem, and they still maintain the same coaching staff who have been there ever since the days of Mourinho and now Solskjaer. So it's very frustrating. But however, Solskjaer is gone. We hope that Michael Carrick is not gonna they're not gonna tell us today he's the caretaker manager, and then before we know it, he's gonna be the interim. No, we hope that, just as the board has said, they're gonna be taking their time. I don't know how much time they need to get their replacement or their interim manager that's gonna take us to the end of the season. A lot of media is not talking about several coaches. I think just before we came on the show, there were reports talking about Luis Enrique, a former Barcelona manager and Spain national team manager. I think he's a current Spain national team manager. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who's in line, to become the next manager. We also have news of Brendan Rodgers, Zinedine Zidane, who for a long time now, many have been saying that he's not really interested in the job. Our fingers are crossed. We're trying to know what is going to be going on in Manchester United. Remember, Manchester United is a big brand in world football. It's true that over the recent times, the results have not been good. There have not been many trophies ever since Alex Ferguson retired. But then Manchester United remains one of the biggest clubs in world football, and it is so shameful that it has gotten to this extent. But we hope that this is going to be the beginning of something bigger at Manchester United. We hope that the board are going to realize that it's not just about the finances. Yes, you are making your money while the fans are dying. You are making your money while the fans are in pain. Please, the board, you have to realize that Manchester United needs a reset. We need people to get into the football club who are footballers, who are football managers. We need people to move the club ahead with the current crop of players we have. I mean, imagine Pogba could go in a year time. Imagine Ronaldo could decide he doesn't want to stay anymore, because Ronaldo is a serial winner and he wouldn't want to stay in an environment where there is just negativity. Remember, Donny van de Beek situation is still not resolved. So a lot of things are going on at the club that we feel that proper management should be put in place or as soon as possible. All right, guys, that was it for Manchester United. And now let's talk briefly about the FECAFOOT situation. That's the Federation of Cameroon Football election that is going on, or that would be going on anytime for in the future, not distant future, I beg your pardon. Samuel Eto'o submitted his candidacy a few days ago and has reiterated the fact that he's ready to die for Cameroon. He's ready to make the football association. He's ready to take the football association to another level. He's ready to bring his expertise that he has gained as a player, one of the best players Africa has ever seen, one of the best strikers the world has ever seen. Samuel Eto'o is vying for the presidency of the FECAFOOT. Seydou Mbodjoya, the incumbent president, is still there. Other candidates have submitted their candidacy, and I think that Eto'o is a very outstanding individual. I think he helps us with the very best in football. If he's the right candidate for the job, I don't know, because first of all, there's a lot of controversy surrounding Eto'o's candidacy, because remember, Cameroon has still not, doesn't accept dual nationality, and Eto'o, for those who don't know, is a Spanish national and also a Cameroonian. So it's very controversial. A lot of people are calling for Eto'o to back out of the running, because they say by law he's not supposed to be standing for the election. But then that's not our concern. We want to see what is going to go on at the Football Federation. We're going to see how the events are going to be and evolving. I beg your pardon. We hope that whichever person is going to be president of the FECAFOOT, there should just be transparency. I mean, we are tired of all these issues of mismanagement, of corruption at every level of football in the nation. And I think that is why the nation has not been able to go to higher heights, even in the local championships and everything. So we need some serious management in the football in the Football Association of Cameroon to be able to bring out the best football that every Cameroonian, every African can be proud of. Alright guys, that was it for today's video. Please let us know in the comment section what you think about Manchester United sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the future of Manchester United. Also let us know what you think about Eto'o's candidacy and the FECAFOOT presidency. Of course, we appreciate your comments. Of course, let us know what you think about the two topics. And until the next video, see you. Bye-bye.